That's when I told myself, he don't pay me tonight, I'm wetting him. What's good? Welcome to Kiko's P.A.I.N, the definitive channel of the Florida chain gang, where we turn bad into good and pain into progress. I'm Kiko Cortez, and today we talking about stabbing people in prison. Why you might do it, how you might do it, what could be the possible consequences, the fallout of doing so. And to highlight it, I'm gonna tell you about the time I had to stab somebody for about $50 a cigarette. Go and subscribe up, hit that like button for me, and go ahead and hit that notification bell. Now we going back to 2006. I was 24 years old. I've been in the Florida Department of Corrections for 3 years now. After doing 5 years in prison in Indiana, getting out for 13 days, I've been back for 3 years at one prison, Liberty CI, just a little bit west of Tallahassee in Florida. Out in the country, not the best vibe, but it's where I spent my first 3 years. At the time of this incident, I'd already become well adapted to living life in the Florida chain gang. All I knew was work out and hustle, work out and hustle. Working out was my life. We still had weights back in these years, and lifting weights, growing, eating was my obsession. And what fueled me to hustle so hard to begin with, to make sure my locker was full and I had all the calories I needed to grow. So at this time, I was selling cigarettes for soups. That's breaking the pack down into cigarettes, selling three for the soup. I was breaking down bags of coffee, selling shots of coffee for the soup. I was running gambling pools, NCAA football, NFL football, NASCAR, gambling pools. I had two clients paying me $30 a month for personal training, sports gambling. But most of all, I loan shark. I ran what we call a rip store. I was a store man, but I specialized in rip. Rip is Florida chain gang slang for cigarettes. They sold yellow boxes of top anywhere from I think $1.30 something around the time I entered to at this point 3 years later in 2006, the prices had risen to approximately $2 a pack. In the chain gang, they call them rips. Back in those days, rips were the currency of prison. You can trade rips for any other thing because even if that person doesn't want cigarettes per se, they know that's money and they can now take that and get whatever it is they're looking for in turn. Lots of store men have chips, honey buns, soups, cookies, the majority of things that people like to eat in prison, and that's what they loan out. Me personally, I always find it difficult to maintain all the different stuff. 1 minute you added chips, 1 minute you added honey buns, and at the time, I didn't have money on my card. I was hustling that store from the ground up. I started from a case of tops I had loaned out, got back, and then it was coming and going, and I built it up for nothing. I couldn't just go pick what I wanted out of the canteen window and stock my store with it. So I kept it simple with cigarettes. The general loan sharking system in Florida is 2 for 3 for 7 days. That means whatever you borrow from me, you got to bring one back for every two that I give you. So if you come get 2 packs of cigarettes from me, I need 3 packs of cigarettes back from you in a week's time. Now, everybody has their way of running things, but generally, that's the most basic outline that you're going to come across in the Florida chain gang. So I would loan out cigarettes, people would bring me back cigarettes. If I wanted something specific for myself, I had these cigarettes that I could take and trade for anything. Generally speaking, if you go into the store, man, you're not managing your money right in prison. Just like on the streets, if you're going out there and getting payday loans or whatever those joints is called. Obviously, if you could just be a little bit patient and wait, grandma, ma, dukes, whoever told you they send you some money, all right, sit back and wait for a week. Wait for that money to get there. Now you get to spend all of it for you. Instead, you run around. As soon as you find out that you got something coming, you're going and borrowing it up to the limit of what you got coming. And now when you actually get it, you paying out. But I'm telling you, I love the people that live life this way because they kept me straight for 3 years. That was my chief hustle that I survived off of. I wasn't getting no money from the streets. I ain't had nobody looking out for me. Everything I had in this time period was I earned hustling in prison. It used to blow my mind because me never getting any money sent in would have more than these people who are getting $200-300 a month sent to them by their people on the streets or from their own money that they had set aside for they came to prison. One particular client, he received $200 every month. And when that $200 came on his card, he would immediately hand me the card, be like, hey, Kiko, boom, the money's there. Run off the whole $100 for the week and come back the next Monday for the rollover and catch that whole $100. Because every month, by the time his money would come, he would owe me the whole $200. And I would tell this man, why don't you just suffer a little bit, bro? Why don't you just go without? You get $200 a month. In 2006, $2 a month, you were living good in the chain gang. I'm like, bro, you could just suffer. Just go without for 2, 3 weeks and you're gonna be straight. But just people just can't go without. People just can't say no. You know, people need their vices, they need their cigarettes, they need coffee. But these are the type of clients you want. You know, people that get the money, that don't know how to manage it, and so always end up needing someone like you. On the flip side, you got guys that come and the very first time they borrow 1 pack of cigarettes, 2 packs of cigarettes from you, they dirty their face the very first time. You gotta come chase them down a week later. Hey, bro, you got my 3 packs? Oh, bro, damn. All right, well, listen. I'm gonna put another pack on top of that. You owe me 4 packs, bro, by this time next week. Boom, a week go by. Hey, what's up? You got that, bro? And these people will make you put hands on them about a couple packs of top. I've had guys with no ways to pay me back that I would take into the chow hall with me, and I would get them to give me their tray. You know, because I was on the get big weightlifting tip, all the food I could get. Okay, you can't pay. You owe me 12 packs of cigarettes. You can't pay me. All right, what's that translate to? The tray, the giving rate for a tray is this amount. You owe me this. All right, I need 10 trays about you in your face clean with me. And them people will tag along with me to chow and pay me what they owe me. Of course, at times, people just don't respect your mind. You got to go to violence. But up until the time of the story, it never gone beyond fighting. Now, before we continue on this narrative, I'm gonna tell you one more thing about the Florida Chain Gang that plays an integral role in this story. One of the favorite forms of gambling down here in Florida is skinning. Skinning is a card game, but really it has a lot more common with throwing dice. I'm not a skinner myself. I never got into the game. Poker or other gambling on card games has never been my thing. I always been a sports guy. But much like dice, where you rolling on the number that's coming up, skinning is similar. Cards are being drawn and bets are being made on the number. Cross bets with other people, it's wide open. Like rolling dice, luck plays a heavy factor. Well, at the time of this story, 2006, I'm living in I-Dorm. I-Dorm is the only T building on the compound at Liberty. All the high security, lifers, violent criminals, people with the time, people with high security, HO status are housed in this building. If you don't normally have the amount of time or the record inside a prison that most people in this dorm have, but yet you go to the confinement and get your security level raised up, you could be temporarily housed in here. So what I doing was mostly filled with guys like myself doing 20 or better, people doing life sentences. You would have other short timers that done jacked up their custody passing through there on their way out of confinement. It just so happened that the biggest skin game on the compound developed right here in my own dorm. You just happen to get a whole bunch of real serious skinners in one dorm at one time, and they were in there skinning all day through child. Only thing they stopping for is when they call rec and count time. Packs of top being the currency of the time, this is what people brought to the skin game to gamble with. It's a bag full of rip. So you have guys with money that lost all the cigarettes that they brought to the game, but they got money and they want to keep playing. But they can't get no more top until the yard open. They got to go to canteen unless they go to the rip store. I live upstairs. I start getting skinners coming up. Hey, bro, you can let me hold the case just to the yard open? I just need it for an hour to the yard open, bro. I got you. I'm like, all right. Normally it's 2 for 3. 7 days you gotta bring it back. That's 6 packs of cigarettes on a case of top. 12 packs come in a case. So if you bought that for me for a week, you gotta bring me back 18 packs of cigarettes. But these guys, they coming to me, hey, I just need this for an hour. I just need this to the yard open. I got you. What's up? I'm like, you know what? All right, here's the case. Just throw 2 on it. Bring me 14 back. So they saving 4. So they getting what they need to keep on gambling. I'm making a little something, but my money's not tied up like it would be if it was getting held for a week. Weeks go by, next thing you know, I'm like the official bank for this skin game. Every time someone runs out of money, they coming up to me and borrowing at least a couple packs or a case until the yard open. It was beautiful for me. I'm not tying up my packs. I can get them right back out, loaned out again. It's not the same amount of money that I would get, but I'm getting it back in and out 5 times for just that one time that it would have came in. At the same time all this is going on, I got a roommate that I'm not really feeling. Black dude, late 20s, early 30s. He got a license and he like boys. For y'all that don't know, boys is a term for gay people in prison, sissies, etc. Punks. My roommate was just in an open relationship with a boy, living in a cell with him, doing his thing. I could care less. He had life sentence. I'm doing my time. I'm hustling. We shared this room together. And even though we didn't particularly like each other too much, there was mutual respect in that room. Both of us went in there. He was quiet. I ain't talk. He ain't talk. He was a Florida State Seminole fan. I'm a Gator fan. So, I mean, that's just one more strike against him. And for like 6 months, we've been living in this cell, coexisting, but not really liking each other at all. One day, a mutual friend of ours comes over to the cell and he's visiting. He's mostly visiting my roommate. He's standing at the door. I'm laying on my bunk. I'm on the top bunk. Roommate underneath me on his bunk. I'm up here reading a book. Their conversation turns ugly. It sounds like they fixing to come to blows. One's my roommate. I rock with the other dude a little piece. So I say, hey, y'all chill out, man. Y'all be easy. That's it. That's all I say. I'm just like, man, y'all chill out. I don't want to see. I don't want to see these fools fight. My roommate, apparently walking around with something on his chest all this time. Anyway, he snapped. Ah, you that? We ain't gonna get all into the words. He started talking real reckless. I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever, whatever. You, end of the day, you in here screaming in my room. I'm reading a book. Respect my mind. It all comes to a head when my roommate says, man, I'll beat your ass. He says it and he turns like this. I'm laying on the bunk. I'm not even standing. But I had one rule. Tell me you gonna beat me up, I'm taking off. You tell me you gonna hurt me, I'm taking off. And the moment he said he beat me up, I shot up on my knees and I caught him. Bam! We go to fighting. Horrible position to be in. I'm on the top of the bunk, raining down punches on him. He's trying to snatch me up off the bunk. That's not a fall you want to make. So I'm trying to keep getting on his ass, stop him from snatching me off the bunk until I can find my moment to dismount off the bunk. I ain't gonna take you through every blow, but first quarter, I get off. I lump him up. Problem is, one of the shots I hit him with broke my hand. I felt it. Once we locked up and we were locked up down on his bottom bunk, I felt my hand just go to throbbing. And I done broke this thing several times. So I was like, dang, boy, you gonna have to gut it out. So we break up for a minute. We talking, he huffing and puffing. I'm supposed to be going and taking pictures as soon as comments clears. I'm all dressed up with a fresh cut. I'm like, damn, he ain't caught me yet. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to go here, be fresh for these pictures. I tell him, I said, what's up? You got some smoke? Listen, we gonna sit here. We gonna do what we gotta do till both of us feel like ain't no issue. Cause I plan on going to sleep right here on this bunk tonight. Now, if you plan on sleeping here right now, we need to go ahead and let it do what it do. So we square off and we go 2 more rounds. I'm not gonna lie. These 2 rounds, brother get a little better of me. He landing more, but he ain't really got no weight with it, so he ain't really do nothing to me. But I can't do nothing. I'm trying to swing with his right hand like if it wasn't broken, but it's just not happening. It turned out really to be kind of a good thing because he saved face a little bit. We squashed it out of the third round. Count cleared. I went and took my pictures, and we went on about our business. Of course, all my homeboys, they see my hand, they hear about what's happening, like, they're on point. His homeboys see him, his eye lumped up and all that, and they like, damn, they going it on. So of course he feels some type of way. But we live on in peace. Some more weeks go by, approximately 4 weeks, and we coexisting. We put that behind us. Still, nothing changed. Me and the bunkie were never friendly to begin with, and we definitely weren't now. But we pushed that behind us. We kept on, going about our business, living our lives. Now, in this 4 week period, one of my roommates, homeboys, guy with shorter time, had gone to confinement and came out and was placed in our dorm. I had barely noticed dude. He was kind of loud. I'd seen him playing football before, athletic guy, but I never really paid him any mind. But I was pretty sure that after me and my roommate had fought, he had been one of my roommate's homeboys egging on more hostilities. But one day, him and my roommate come up into my room, and my roommate presents Buddy. Hey, this is my homeboy Chino, man. He good people. Chino said, hey, what's good, bro? You got a store? Yeah, I got a store. What's happening? And he come to me. He's a skinner. He down in the skin game. They done sold him. I loaned cigarettes to the yard open. Say, hey, bro, let me get a case to the yard open. Now, I'm going to keep it real. At the moment, I felt like, hold up. I don't think this dude like me. I don't think this dude got respect for me. I don't know about this dude. But my roommate's right here, and I've been trying to move on, turn another leaf, and let's just keep it cordial. I reject this homeboy right now, it's gonna be like the animosity meter just gonna crank back up. So I'm like, you know what? I got you. Boom, I loan him the case. Some hours later, he comes back and gets some more money. But then third yard opens and he comes back with a case. At the time, he owed me more than a case, but he brought one case back. He's like, bro, here's a case. I got you the rest in the morning. All right, cool. I'm never gonna trip when someone bringing me money. But he loses all his money again. and has to come back that same night and get more packs from me. When it's all said and done, he owed me 26 packs of top. That came out to approximately $52 in canteen money. The day ended and he hadn't paid me, but I wasn't tripping. Like, okay, I'm not no petty dude. I'm not gonna sweat you about, oh no, you said today. All right, if it's tomorrow morning, we good. Let me just get my money. We straight. We ain't gotta be perfect, you know. But then a day or two goes by and I still haven't got my money. Now this can be where prison can be a real mind trip. You sit there, you see things happening, people are telling you things, people are acting a certain way in your face, and you have to evaluate what's true and what isn't true, what this person's motivation is. Because the natural thought process would be, why someone want to borrow something from me knowing they're not going to pay it back if they know I'm going to want to fight if they don't pay it back? Why would someone do that? In prison, maybe that guy wanted to fight you to begin with, but instead of just going and picking a fight, he went and borrowed from you. He said, I'm not going to pay him. I'm going to see how he living. Let's see him come put down on me. A lot of people think like this. So when you in my position, you done loaned out, and people acting a certain way, you trying to put it together. What's this fool want me to do? What's this fool hope to get out of this? He just think I'm pussy. He don't realize what type of time I'm on. Or he just thinks I'm not capable of harming him. He's calling my bluff. These are the types of things that just like go through your head like, hold up, what's going on? What's this about? And now if it was a setup to begin with, now did my roommate know about it? This fool, he brought him over here too. He put this on his face. He brought this fool to me. He know about it? What, all these boys, this is how they get their revenge. They planning on pulling my card, and then when I come, if I come, they gonna do something. All this stuff going through my head, a couple days going by. And I don't go up and say nothing to them. And a lot of these scenarios go up. Hey bro, what's good? You said you gonna have my money yesterday, bro. You didn't have it. What's good? We all right? I didn't do that in this case because I felt this paranoia. I felt this. Oh, what, this fool know my hands broke. He knows my hands broke, so he ain't worried about me coming in there and getting on his ass. Okay. But finally, in my mind, I say, you know what? Okay, if you think that this is the worst I'll do this instead. I'm gonna put in your life. So I'm walking around heated, feeling like my car is being pulled, but not wanting to. The lack of certainty is the worst thing because you want to just act, but you want to be served. So finally, when my frustration level couldn't get any higher, so I thought, I'm walking out of the dorm one evening. It's third yard. They just opened third yard, and I'm going out to wreck. As I step out the door to my dorm, this guy who owes me, he's coming into the dorm. He done been in another dorm violating, and he's sneaking back into our dorm. He's got a laundry bag slapped full of yellow packs of top. Every pocket on his uniform pants has yellow rectangles of top stuffed in. He got at least 30, 40 packs of top. Now maybe I should have said something right then. Like, bro, what's up with my oh, you got me? That's never been my style though. I always wait and see if people gonna do what they supposed to do. But as I walked past him off into the rec field, I thought to myself, he don't pay me tonight, I'm wetting him. He didn't pay me that night. So I wake up the next day, I set about my plans for wetting this fool. First, I start clearing up on my affairs. I had some business partners in some of my hustles. I don't want to tell anybody what I'm about to do, but I don't want to leave these couple individuals in the blind when I'm suddenly gone. So I pull my partner Bama to the side, like, bro, here, take all this empty paperwork. We used to use these empty forms with the carbon copies to make our tickets because there's multiple copies without having to do so much writing. I buy and buy the pack from the inmate that works in classification. I bring my pack to Bama and I tell him, here, bro, hold these. What you mean? What you giving me these for? We need these for the tickets this week. You gonna need them, bro. Listen, that fool, what's his name? Man, I'm about to smack him. What? What's he doing, man? He good money. Bruh, I ran it down, the whole situation to Bama. Like, it is what it is, bro. I'm gone. Bama tell me, bro, give him one more day on my face. Give him one more day on my face, bro. If he don't pay you tomorrow, man, handle your business. All right, bro, I'm gonna give him one more day on your face, bro. So I go about my business. That night at count time, we're sitting on our bunks. The doors are locked open. Chino's upstairs as we are across the way. After the cops do their count, he gets on the door and he's yelling at one of the other Skinners. Hey, bro, what you up, bro? Oh, man, now I'm up 12. Man, I'm up 48. Dude owe me, say he up 48 packs right then in that moment. He could have cashed out 26 of them packs, ran down there, threw them at me, and went back to gambling. Instead, he's on a roll. He wants to stay in there, just keep on running, and then, do what he do afterwards. He go back in there and lose everything. End of the night, he ain't make nothing, he ain't lose nothing. He just walked to his bunk, bam. Had the opportunity for the second time to pay me and didn't do it. When that happened, it's fate. Now, all the time that I've been living in this dorm, I developed a plan of attack. If I ever felt like I needed to wet somebody in that dorm, how I was going to go about doing it. The plan is always to try to do it and not get caught. So my plan of attack was if I decided I was going to get somebody in my wing, the moment the doors roll in the morning, I'm coming out my cell. I'm running down there into his cell. Boom, I'm going to wake him up with the fire. Wet him. And then I'm going to throw the knife and walk out the cell and lock him in the cell. And whatever. They said, hold on. Go sit down, fake the funk, whatever it is. I felt like that gave me the best opportunity to maybe get away with something. So now I find myself in this situation like, okay, here it is. I'm about to, let's get him. But when I go and think about using this plan that I've been planning, I think, okay, I'm gonna go down there, I'm gonna get him first thing, I'm gonna wake him up, poke him up, and I'm gonna lock him up in there. But I'm like, hold up, his best friend's my roommate. I'm gonna wet this guy, then I'm gonna go back up into my cell when the cops all come running in, everybody on your bunk, and they start going through the whole mess. I'm gonna be sitting up there on my bunk with a guy just stabbed down there, his homeboy, sitting in the room with me. So part of me says, you know what? Go down there in the room, wet him, and when you get back up to your room, wet that fool too. 2 for 1. It is what it is. They both played. They both came. Ha. But then I'm like, well, shit. You stab your roommate, you're definitely going in. You're going in. You stab your roommate, you're going in for that. Go down here and stab this guy. Maybe you get away with it. You stab him, then you come up and stab your roommate. You're not getting away with it. You're not getting away with it. So at the end of the day, I decided to hit him in the sally port. The sally port is real narrow. When they let the dorms out, they usually let one wing out at a time to go to child. Boom. We all fill the sally port, little horseshoe shaped around the officer station. Fill it up, slam. You're in there like this. And then once the whole dorm is in the sally port and lock the wing door behind them, bam, they pop that door and we all go out. But you cramped in there. Somebody will start digging on you. You're going to have trouble getting away from them. So at lunchtime the next day, I come down, Class A, with my boots on, and I got a USA Today newspaper folded up. Inside there, I got a flat knife. It's about this long. It's made some kind of sheet metal. It looked real intimidating, but it ended up being not so functional. I sit out at one of the card tables, waiting for them to call chow. They call it. Chow time, chow time, chow time. This is the lunch hour. Everybody starts running for the sally port. Boom, people throwing shirts on. Swarm of people at the front, and then a couple more, and then a trickle out, and then it's everybody, and the door locks. And this whole time I've been sitting there waiting on this fool to get up, and I'm gonna follow him into that sally port. And as soon as we get up in there, I'm gonna start giving it to him. But he never passes me. He never comes out of the room in the back where they still in there skinning. All the skinners, they still 20 deep back there in that room gambling. They can't stop for a second. So I miss Child. I sit there, I stay there. Child leaves, comes back. I'm just sitting there talking with a couple of my partners that don't even know what I'm about to do. I'm sitting there with a knife on me, chilling, vibing with them, and they got no idea that I'm planning to go stab somebody. So having missed the opportunity at lunch, my next opportunity would be going to rec. When we go to rec, the same thing happens. You have to fill up the sally port first, and then they release you out into the yard. So we're gonna be in the sally port again when they call rec. I got 2 homeboys in the dorm that know what I'm about to do. My only words to them was don't let nobody interfere, bro. When I'm doing me, don't let nobody come and try to save this fool. That's all I asked of them. Rec yards called. People go running, swarming, same motion. Everybody's running out, filling up, heading out, heading out, heading out. Me and my 2 accomplices, we go out into the sally port. They're hanging back as instructed. We go out into the sally port and we waiting. People swarming by, people swarming by. This particular time, they don't wait for everybody getting the sally port to open the front door. All doors are open. People are just swarming through, swarming through, swarming through. And I'm standing out here in this sally port, and with every minute, there's less people in here. They'll get yelling, last chance, you better get out. You want to go to wreck. This fool still hasn't come out. I'm like, damn, what's it going to take? Well, now the sally port's almost open, and we're looking real conspicuous. So I'm like, man, come on, pa fuera. Let's go. Let's go outside. Boom. We go outside, walking real slow, walking real slow. Just when I think the door's going to slam, and I'm going to be stuck out there in the yard with a knife, with no victim, bam, here buddy comes. He comes sliding up out the door. I'm just chilling, looking around, not wanting to do nothing right here with a guard tower and officers with a visual. But as soon as he gets past, I follow in line. And I'm following him. You have to go through this yellow line, cross the whole compound to get to where the rec gate and going out to the rec field. So we have to cross the whole compound from I dorm past H, G, F, etc. I'm following buddy, trying to get out of view at a big tower at the center gate when he stops and starts talking to somebody in front of H dorm. So boom, I see a bench. I sit down. Just so happened my best friend in the world, Ron, rest in peace, he's sitting right here. Hey bro, what's good? Oh, hey, what you doing? Ah man, just chilling. Whole time I'm having a conversation with him. I'm watching Buddy. Yeah, boom, Buddy takes off to go. I'll holler at you. Get up, back in pursuit. There's a whole line of us going because you're supposed to stay within the yellow line on the right side of the concrete, heading all the way around out to the rec field. Now you got another big tower, but it's for the rec gate. There's hundreds of inmates flowing through here right now. I'm walking behind, I'm just standing on them, on them, on them. All the people coming in and out of traffic, I'm just standing right behind Buddy. Got my newspaper clutch. As we pass F dorm, I look around, everything look good. I pulled a knife out of the newspaper with my right hand and clutched it at my side. It's hanging out of it's about this long from my fist. I'm coming up behind him. The plan hit him right here in the neck. I mean, I don't want to kill Buddy. I want to go home. But I always told myself, if you're going to pull a gun, you better shoot it. If you're going to stab somebody, you better stab him to kill him. Anything else is half-stepping. Half-stepping always gets you in the end. We walking, I'm following, and I come like this. And at the moment of contact, something made this man look over his shoulder. As the knife's coming in the air, he turns to look right over his right shoulder, directly into the blade of the knife. Boom. The blade catches him here, cuts him until I guess it hits into his cheekbone or whatever, but it opens a cut through his lip into his mouth across here, bringing his lip down here, but you can see his gums and his teeth. I swing the first time it hits. I swing back to go again, coming up under into the midsection, not knowing that when the blade hit his face in the bone, it caused the blade to do a slight bend. So when I came back the second time and I stabbed him here in the torso, there was a superficial cut, but the bend caused the knife to go further. I pulled back, seen the bent knife. I stepped back out of the line because anybody could have been coming behind me to clean my clock, steal me, help him out, whatever. To recap, I swing, turn, boom, hits him in the face, cuts his face open. I swing again, I hit him in the chest, minor cut, but a bent knife. I step out. As I step out, he turns around. As he's turning around, he immediately pulls his shirt off. Apparently, he's thinking he done got stole by somebody. If you ever been stabbed before, you don't know. You just get hit and your adrenaline's going and it's on. He turns around with his shirt off. For a split second, his lips hanging open and there's no blood. And then fountain comes on and he's just gushing blood up out of here. I straighten the knife, cutting my hand in the process. He looks down and sees I just done straightened this knife back out and immediately takes off running. Across the compound. Ah! Boom. I'm running after him. Knife in my hand. I'm running. I'm trying to put it in my pocket. I'm running after this fool. But I told you he played football. He played athletics. You wasn't going to catch this fool. So I turn around like, all right, whatever, man. I got him. I got to get this knife up off me. I run over by F dorm where there's a fence. And I throw the knife over the fence. And I go to walking away. Like, man, I'm just going to walk away. I might get away with this after all. At least the initial stabbing. Who knows what's going to fall out after all this. But I hear some yelling. He threw the knife. He threw the knife. Next thing you know, I turn around and I get to him. Chino, blood pouring out his face, comes running up at me like he ready to do something. Oh, you ain't got no knife now. You ain't got no knife now. I'm like, okay. This fool must think I stabbed him because I was scared to fight him. Now, I stabbed you because of the level of disrespect I felt. That's why I took it. So when he comes at me, I throw my set up. We exchange. Boom, boom, boom. I slip. He slips. We're back up. Throwing a couple. Finally, I land a two-piece. Bing, bing. Soon as I land a two-piece, he does like everybody does. Boom. Comes and grabs my arms. And we're against the fence by now. He grabs me and just pins me against the fence. And he's not trying to hurt me. He's not trying to do nothing to me. He's holding me there and squeezing me. Meanwhile, his face is leaking all the way down my clothes. Cops show up, gas cans out. We're sitting there still just locked up. And they split us. From the moment they split us, we're standing along the fence line right here. They pull him that way, they pull me this way. It's like 3-4 officers, a whole shitload of inmates watching. And this fool go to yelling, he stabbed me. The Chico stabbed me. He threw the knife right over there. He threw the knife over the fence right over there. Screaming at the top of his lungs. I'm sitting there stupefied, covered in this fool blood like, damn, you really doing that? You really doing that right here on Front Street. They cuff me. They clear the whole compound. And when everybody's gone and put up, they walk me across the compound. Blue uniform, soaked in blood, hands cut from where I had straightened the knife. I'm in confinement, single man cell, facing an outside case. Buddy ended up getting stitches all in his shit. And he back there. You know, if you get stabbed in the Florida Department of Corrections, you automatically put under protective custody until you transfer. You can't get stabbed in Florida and stay at the same compound. You're not supposed to. So I find myself in confinement August 2006, facing all types of charges inside the prison and outside the prison. And apparently, fool I done stabbed put all his homeboys down as witnesses because next thing I know, they've locked up all his homeboys you ever seen him with, all locked up back there in confinement with us. So I'm in here and on my door, I'm signing to my homeboys, different look, my side of the story. He's in there with all these suckers. Next thing I know, I'm on the door and I'm seeing the officers are going to the cells of not only this guy that I stabbed, but his homeboys that they locked up because he put them down as witnesses. One at a time, they handcuff them out of their cells and they take them up front. When they walk by my cell, they mug me. Like shoot me units the whole way by. After they finish with every one of them, they come pull me out. Now I know where they all been at. They put me into a room with an inspector general. These are like free world cops that investigate crimes in prison and pass it over to the district attorney to determine if street charges should be filed. They've been going up in here, and now after I get my rights read to me, I find out they done told him the whole play. They pointed me out in photo lineups. They described everything that they saw. All these dudes mugging me as they walk by my cell, on their way to go tell on me. After a couple months in confinement at Liberty CI, they sent me to CM for 2 years. 6 months after getting CM, I got mail call one day. It was a motion for discovery from my public defender up in Liberty County, defending me on the charges that had been pressed against me. Aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, resulting in serious bodily harm. In my single man cell in Rayford, Florida, I bust open this packet, and inside is pictures, testimony, everything that these guys told the investigator about the attack. It was an open and shut case. Of course they pressed charges. Everybody there is identifying the same guy. It wasn't until a year and a half later that I actually saw the courtroom for this charge. It was supposed to be a plea hearing where I accepted a 3-year added on to my 20-year prison sentence, 3 more years added on. I would still be locked up today if I would have signed that deal. Instead, I turned down the plea bargain, had an open sentencing hearing in front of the judge, and convinced him that I was only defending myself. I ended up having to do an extra year in prison for this stabbing. After serving my 2 years on CM, I was released from Charlotte CI in September of 2008. I was sent to Martin CI, one of the most violent prisons in the state. We're going to talk about what happened there next time. Till then, y'all stay blessed.